Welcome to Butterflies of Wisdom, everyone. This afternoon, I have Maria with me. Maria is a full-time author. She's living the life I want to live. And so without further ado, I'm going to let Maria take it away.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today. It's a great pleasure to share my experience with you, and I hope I can motivate more people to keep writing. This is a very, very long process, and it takes a lot of patience. Yes, it takes a lot. Yes.
And so, Maria, let's start out with your story. And first of all, where are you from? You sound like you have a Mexican accent.
Yes, I'm originally from Romania. I moved in the United States in 2001 by marriage. My first husband was from Vermont, and I was a TV producer in Bucharest, and we met through a common friend who moved to Vermont before me. And making a long story shorter, we fell in love, and he came to visit Romania, and without even thinking, I married him, and 1 month later, I moved to the United States. Now, the downfall of this story is that 8 months later, he was killed in a car accident, and I was pregnant with my son at the time, and it was a very, and that's what my first book is about, my memoir, which my agent is editing right now. And the struggle as a new immigrant in a country and in New England, an area that is somehow racist and not open to people of other cultures or people with disabilities or people that are from the outside world in their own culture.
It's interesting that you say disabilities because I have a disability, as you will know, and I'm barely accepted in this country. I am barely accepted. So, Maria, what
Yes.
do you think that people should know about immigrants and the disabled to accept us more than they already do?
Well, I think that my memoir will show the struggle that a legal immigrant goes through the process, and I could easily moved back to Romania where I had everything that I needed. I had a home in Bucharest. I had parents and a sister, and so here I had no one to trust, no one to. So this is the story of one woman, young woman, adjusting to a new culture and accepting, let's say, the label, the immigrant label. You are an immigrant. It doesn't matter who you are. I was an educated person before, and even more, I became more educated in the United States. I got my master's here and became a teacher. But what I'm saying is, as we know, with these political challenges that we all see these days, that people are misinformed, and it takes a strong desire to really learn the law, to really learn what it takes to come to this country. And nothing is free. People believe that we immigrants come here to have everything free, which is not true. Absolutely not true.
No, that's absolutely not true. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I have immigrants in my own life who face the same struggle you do to get accepted in this country, and they face the same struggle you do. So what inspired you to, I guess, leave the teaching field and become a full-time author?
Well, it was a decision that I had to make at one point. And advancing in age, having a very tough life, there are a few things that you want to do, and you see life differently. So you are at a point, or I was at a point when I had to decide, do I really care for a title? Do I really care to do something that I did enjoy at that point, or I want to pursue my dream? And it came a point in time when I had to make this decision, and I made it to dedicate myself for my dream. And I gave myself a couple of years to live my dream, and if I will be successful with this book or not, the time will tell, and I will see what I will do after. But for now, I am living my dream.
And you will be successful with this book, I know. I know you will. Because my team is right behind you, living your dream. And so do you have a degree? I know you have a degree in teaching. I know you have a master's degree in teaching. But do you have a degree in broadcast journalism? Or how did you get into TV journalism as a producer in Bucharest?
Well, journalism writing, matter of fact, comes to me very easily. And when I was a teacher in Romania, I became a journalist. I worked for Nadia Comaneci, the world gymnast's brother, for the first publication. And from there, I became a full-time journalist, and I gave up teaching for it. So I've learned a lot during that time on producing the documentaries and the investigations. Was just a natural, I could see in my head how I wanted these things to look like. And indeed, I took some courses on video production, and I learned the strategies of editing and everything that I needed to know, because when you are the producer and you have a team working with you, you need to know if they do a good job, and you need to direct them what they have to do so you can have the best show. And that's exactly what happened.
So you were behind the scenes woman making the magic happen, I should say.
Well, thank you so much for that. I hope I do. It is a lot of work. Yes, indeed. It is a lot of work, and a lot of giving up your time and other things that for some people might sound better, to go on vacation, to travel, to go partying or other things. So after I moved to the United States for the next 7 years, all I did was studying to get my teaching license, to pass the tests, to learn a new language, to complete my master's, to write my thesis, and mentor my students at school. And so I've been studying a lot, and I developed a vocabulary, a scientific vocabulary. But now, take me from there, put me to write, I had to relearn this process in another language where there are different rules, where there are different ways to approach a story. And even today, I spend a lot of time on researching for my next book. And what I do, I create a spreadsheet with things that will go in each chapter, and trying to make the plot of the story. So I can say for the past 2 weeks, that's what I'm doing. I'm developing a the plot story for the next book. Hopefully, my agent will finish editing my memoir by the end of this year, so we can go in submission at the beginning of next year. But even if it doesn't sell, if no one will buy it or whatever, I will have a second project and I will try something very different. But again, something that I'm very accustomed to, it would be the true story of Dracula's true love. The girl who changed his mind, the girl who stood by him and is not known much here in the United States, but I was able to find some details about her, and that will be this love story of a bloody character who is getting pat on the shoulder by a girl for whom he will show true love.
Oh my God! So you want to write this book about Dracula? Now, have you ever considered self-publishing your memoir, or are you just a traditional publishing girl, straight as out? Have you ever considered self-publishing?
I did self-publish a book in 2007, but I found out that it's not the way you want to go. I mean, without a strong marketing, and I didn't have a marketing platform at that time. Now I do. But I would probably choose a smaller publishing company instead of self-publishing that will have some established bookstores, and that if they love the story and if they will publish for you, maybe the advance will not be as great as from other publishing company, but you will sell more books because they will have their way to advertise for you. And of course, you do your own thing and you advertise yourself and make the connections and promote your book the much you can.
That's what I'm doing with one of my books. I'm actually going with the small self-publisher house because I want to see what they will do with my book, because for about 7 years, I've been self-publishing, and as you know, Maria, it's a tough challenge. It's a tough challenge just researching a book. I can't imagine researching the book in a different language. I can barely research in English, let alone barely research if English wasn't my native language. I don't know what I would do.
Well, I'm sure you'll do fine. We say experiencia docet. That means the experience teaches you what to do. So you learn how to adjust to things and what you need to learn. And as I did, I self-taught myself and I figure out my weaknesses and I try to improve them. I will never change my accent.
You would never change your accent. Now,
no.
What is your favorite book? And it can be in Romanian too. It can be in Romanian. It just has to be a favorite of yours.
Well, it is Zorba the Greek. Zorba the Greek.
Zorba the Greek? Jeez.
Yeah.
That is a favorite book, you guys.
Well, I read it in Romanian, and that was the first book that I bought in the United States in English.
Zorba the Greek? Jeez. Maria, you threw me a curveball on that one. I thought you were going to say Anna's Green Gables or something like that. Nope. She threw me a curveball.
Well, there are proofs that I like a lot, and Goy de Maupassant, and mostly the classics, because I had the chance to read them in Romania. We did not have the opportunity to read many other books in Romania because they were not approved to come in the country or to be translated. because I lived during the communism, and somehow they closed the borders. We lived in a very controlled system. Nothing much about America or other countries that can show a different way of life. So they were happy to give us, let's say, classics that will talk about past times, not present times. I hope you understand what I want to say.
I do understand what you want to say, and thank you for the explanation behind your favorite book. Maybe I should ask, what is your favorite book and why? I'll be adding that to my baseline questions, because I'm always curious as to why it's your favorite book. But you explain it so eloquently and so beautifully that you weren't given the options to read any other books as a child except the classics.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. But I am happy you explained that to all my listeners, including me. Your story fascinates me, believe it or not. So, okay, you are planning on traditional publishing. We know that. And now, is your husband still alive, or did he pass away from the car accident?
Excuse me?
Is your husband still alive, or did he pass away from the car accident?
Yeah, he passed away. He passed away in the accident. He died in the accident, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
well,
that was in 2001 in November, and 3 years ago I remarried. I'm remarried now, and my husband is a businessman, and I help him more. I help him with the businesses, so I don't need to teach. So,
aren't you lucky? Aren't you lucky? Because, as you know, and I don't know about Romanian teachers, but teachers here in the U.S. do not, and I repeat, do not make enough money. And I don't know about teachers in Romania, but teachers in the U.S. struggle beyond
the same thing.
Same in Romania. Okay, so it's a worldwide thing that I always wanted to ask a teacher that from another country. I always wanted to ask a teacher that from another country. Do you guys still struggle with your bills, or is it a different? Do you guys get a higher paycheck? Because if you said I get a high paycheck teaching in Romania, I would have said pack my suitcases and I'm moving to Romania to teach. And so it's the same problem. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. I was making more money teaching than as a business owner, because a lot of money go to taxes and so much money on there. But I've learned also to live with less. And from the time when I was very poor in this country, and from the time when I grew up in communism, so my standards are a little different than most Americans. That means if I have a roof and things to put on the table for my kids, I don't need to buy dresses every day. I don't need to, or every year. I mean, I live very modest. I live the way I want at this point, and I have one more year to fulfill my dream. And after that, I will think what I have to do next. But I've learned
to fulfill that dream.
The thing that I want to tell you and to your listeners is that freedom has no price. So if your spirit is free to do whatever you think is good for you and for the others, then money cannot buy it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you do. I've learned to live modest. Although in Bucharest I had a high lifestyle, but I enjoyed both of them at different times. But I think we evolved in time and we see the things differently. Once you get a little older, probably you get wiser, and you see that
Yes.
in fact, that's exactly what you want to do, and takes a little sacrifice. So yes, indeed, during the summertime when the businesses and we have tourists coming and I have to work a lot, but during the winter time is my time when I can write and do my thing.
Well, isn't that wonderful that you can work during the summertime and not work during the wintertime?
Oh, the winters here are very bad. I will tell you. We are close to the Whiteface Mountain and we have about 5 to 6 months of very cold weather. Out of it, probably 4 below zero. Snow all the time. We have to heat the house a lot. Money for the heat, money for, but what I'm saying is, that's where I am now, and who knows what will happen.
Well, I live in the snowy state of Aspen, Colorado, and we are not experiencing snow here at this moment. But God, it's called money for lights, money for heat, money, and people who don't experience it at all don't get what we're talking about. When we live in these snowy states, you add on an extra challenge of dealing with the snow.
Right. It's a big expense.
Yeah. Big expense. Huge expense. Big expense. You add on the occasional power outage. Add on the occasional power outage.
I would love to write your story for a Romanian American newspaper where I have columns and I write when I have a story to say. And I'm very excited.
Yes, please, because I need to reach a wider audience with my books. And as we all do, we need to reach a wider audience. And so, yes, please, I'll accept that. Right on air, we can talk about that offline. But yes, please. And so I wanted to ask you, if you had to be educated by anyone inside or outside your field, who would it be and why?
I would say Albert Einstein.
Okay. You just threw me for the curveball. Jeez. Why?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because he was a visionary, and as a science teacher, I'm still amazed how he was able to discover the speed of light. And these are things. I'm fascinated with astronomy, and in 2011, when I was a Vermont Teacher of the Year, I attended a program at Huntsville, Alabama, sponsored by NASA and the U.S. Department of Education. So I can say that I graduated from there as a small train astronaut. So I had to go through all these kind of things, and astronomy is my passion. I think in another life I was an astronomer or something, or I don't know, but I'm fascinated about stars and everything that is so unreachable, but you can get a sense of them and you can calculate so many things that are out there and we don't know about it.
Exactly. I agree with you. I think in another life I was a journalist or something, because my passion is journalism My passion is teaching about cerebral palsy, but my true passion is journalism, and that's why I'm sending myself back to school for my journalism degree.
That's very good. That's very nice.
Yes. Yes, well, thank you for that. And where can people find you? Where can people go find you and find more information about your stories and possibly buy your stories when they come out? Let's be honest here. Let's be honest.
I'm on Twitter.
And
I'm on Twitter, and my account is at Dezotell, Dezotell, one word. You also can find me. I have a blog, Maria D. Holderman, which is my second name after I remarried. So Maria D. Holderman, Holdrman. And you can search for me and you can find my blog, and from there, and you have also my blog listed on my Twitter account too.
I will put everything
on
in the show
Facebook.
notes. Don't worry.
I'm on Facebook,
Don't
yes.
worry. I will put your blog. I will put your bio. Don't worry.
Thank you.
You're on Facebook as well. Give us that too.
Yes, it is Maria D. Holderman.
So is that your personal profile or your business page?
It is my personal, but I have Maria D. Holderman writer, so I have 2 pages.
Okay. So you do. Okay. So I was just making sure we don't want any weirdness going on your personal page. So Maria D. Holderman writer is your business page. Maria D. Holderman is your Facebook. Personal.
Yes.
Okay, yes. And now, Maria, I know you had questions for me, which you kindly texted to me, which, by the way, before we got on this phone call, I didn't even know you had an accent of Romania. I didn't even know that. That didn't cross my mind because I'm looking at these texts in a very exquisite English, by the way, and I'm like, she's speaking English. And so when you got on the phone, your accent threw me off a little bit because I'm like, yeah, she's speaking English with her accent, which is very beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. So, yes, I sent you a couple of 3 questions, and
yeah.
I wanted to know what motivates you to do this thing, to interview people that are in the writing profession, and the satisfaction that you get from here and the challenges.
Well, okay, what motivates me? What motivates me is like you. The challenges is I write with speech dictation, aka Apple Siri. And no, Apple doesn't sponsor this podcast. I wish it would. But that's my biggest challenge. My biggest motivation is interviewing up-and-coming authors like you and learning about people's stories. That's why I'm going back to journalism school, fashion journalism, so I can give a voice to the fashion industry that they don't have.
That's very nice. And what is what is the most important story that you learned since you do this show?
The most important story that I learned since I have been doing this show, man, you threw me for a curveball, and I think the woman I interviewed yesterday, whose husband is in the Navy in Virginia, and I just love talking to people who come from other countries like you. And my favorite is when I talk to any veteran, whether it be a Navy veteran, whether it be an Army veteran, whether it be a civilian working on airplanes, I love talking about other people's stories, and I particularly love talking to veterans. I don't know why.
It's motivating.
It is motivating, and dogs are motivating too. That's if you guys hear a dog in the background, that's Maria's dog, not mine. And so, what's
I'm sorry.
Name?
I'm here.
That's okay. What's your dog's name?
Well, I have two. One, Jose.
Oh.
One, he's a rescue dog. He's 9 years old. And I have a baby girl, 7 months old, and her name is Sadie, also a rescue dog. So I have two.
And Jose, and they're both rescue dogs. God, I wish I could rescue a dog, because I just feel like that's a whole nother podcast in itself. I just feel like so many dogs need good homes.
Yep. Yes, so I have two of them.
You have two of them. And I know you had a third question for me, which I am willing to answer.
Okay, the last question, right?
Sure, but yeah, the last question.
Yes, it was, how do you feel about these political changes, actual political changes, and what can we do to bring some awareness?
Well, we need to realize we voted a buffoon with orange hair into office, and he makes fun of immigrants. He makes fun of people with disabilities before he even went into office. So before he even went into office, he did that. And so I feel like we need to start educating our kids about this buffoon and start educating others. And the buffoon, by the way, is Donald Trump. And I feel like we need to either keep our kids away from it or start educating people about it, because this buffoon is not, he's making mockery out of the U.S., to be honest with you, and he's not helping the immigrants nor the disabled. So I think we should start educating people through books.
Correct.
And that's my honest answer. And that's my honest answer from my heart. And I really think we voted a buffoon into office. And whoever voted the buffoon into office, aka Donald Trump, shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you. Because you guys are not making it very easy for the immigrants and the disabled. And I'm sorry for getting on a soapbox, but Maria wanted this question answered, and I am going to answer it from my heart, and I think we should start educating people about this country and Bucharest in books.
Correct.
Maria said yes. Hello. So, yeah, that's my honest answer. That's my honest answer. We need to educate people about this buffoon. And he's not making it easy on the widows. He's not making it easy on the disabled. He's making it hard on people that educate other people. And he's making it hard on all of us, because we don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know if you have DACA in Bucharest, but we have DACA here, and what DACA did is bring all these students in from Mexico and all these other countries on visas, student visas. And what is happening now is the big buffoon is shutting down DACA. So these people trying to get an education in the U.S., wanting to live the American dream, are not, because they're afraid of getting deported.
Correct.
And so I just think we should educate people.
Yes. I agree with you 100%.
Exactly. And I'm going to help you do that by publishing this episode, and then if I get nasty feedback, I don't care. I don't care, because Maria wanted this question answered, and I'm here to tell you, Maria's here to stay in this country, and I am here to educate people with disabilities about disabilities. I'm here to educate people who will ever listen, and Maria sounds like she's here to educate people about immigrants.
Right. Well, in my case, I made my way and I became an American citizen in 2007. I have the right to vote, and I am a good citizen, and I think voting is the most important way to express your choice. And if people don't show up when they have election, then they cannot blame others for not voting the way they want. So I see this problem with people not showing up to vote, and it's a sad story here.
It's a sad story, and you mentioned Alabama earlier, and to bring up the Roy Moore case in Alabama, because Roy Moore got voted out of office. But that's a sad story, because they're not giving people ways to vote, and they should give people ways to vote, and they should not be taking away IDs to vote. And it's a sad story when you can't vote. And so I think you and I need to educate people in general about people who are different.
Correct.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. And so it's time for people to get educated about people who are different, and it's time to start buying books about people who are different. Start buying my books. Buy Maria's book when it comes out, because that would make Maria so happy. And what you can do to help both of us is leave a review on Amazon, because then our books would shoot to number 1, and then more people will see our books if they get to number 1. And we're talking about a book in the process right now, and I want to see Maria's memoir get to number 1 and be big time published, because I think that's a wonderful goal.
Let's hope for it.
Let's hope for it. And I appreciate Maria's time. I definitely appreciate you guys' time. And this episode will be posted today. Today's Thursday. And I hope Maria enjoyed her interview and talking about her book that's coming out. And when is the launch of your book, Maria? Have you decided that?
No, I don't know yet. My agent is at the editing stage, and she's sending me the feedback, and I have to work on the story to make it smoother or to make it better. Let's put it this way. So when
keep me updated on that, so I can keep my.
I hope the book will be edited by the end of this year. And I hope that's my goal, that in February, when everyone is ready for a new year, we can start subbing the book to the publishers, the list that my agent will have, and she has connection with them. I know that she told me a secret that she already told a couple of big publishers that she has this book in her hand. She signed me in 2 days after she got my query letter and read a couple of chapters, and she didn't want to miss a chance. So let's hope that will be a book that is in demand right now, just because it is an honest book about a young immigrant who gave up everything in her country, to find love in America. And all she got was pain and the struggle to make her way up. And finally she succeeded, but it wasn't easy. So I hope I will motivate more people in their most desperate moments of life, when they could lose anything. They could lose a house, they could lose due to bankruptcy, or they can lose someone that they love, they can lose anything, but nothing compared to the strength that you pull yourself up and you keep living, building a life from nothing. So I think that is my message.
Well, that's a beautiful message and a beautiful way to end this podcast interview. And I wish you the best of luck. And I have your phone number, so we'll keep in touch. And then we'll I'll keep tabs on Maria, you guys. So when this book gets published, you guys can go buy it. And if a big publisher picks it up, I will have you back on the podcast, Maria, and so you can share the exciting news with my fan base, and then we can all celebrate this book.
That would be wonderful.
Writing a book is a process in itself, and you guys know that by now. And I wanted to bring Maria on to explain the writing the book process and talk about her journey. And I hope you guys enjoyed hearing a little bit about her journey and why she moved to America and gave up everything in big rest. God knows I certainly did. And I hope you guys enjoy another fabulous interview. And I will be back on Monday with another fabulous interview, which you guys won't hear until Tuesday. And then you guys will definitely hear this interview today. And I want to thank you for all your support. And this podcast is actually changing in February, changing completely. And so it's turning a new leaf to Ask When. And so you guys can start sending me questions or tweeting me questions, or you guys can start asking me questions about Ask When. And I hope that podcast works out. And I hope you guys enjoyed another interview. Thanks to you guys